What's up, y'all? I'm your girl, Ja. Some people call me Jewel. Some people call me Junior. Call me whatever you like, but don't call me for drama. This is going to be difficult because I have my camera turned a different way, hoping that it will give me a better video, but I think my camera's over here, and I'm kind of sitting over on this side of the camera, and so I want to look this way because I want to look at myself, and it's just weird. I'm going to try to look that way, and I'm not cross-eyed or retarded or anything. I'm just trying to get through this. So anyway, yeah. So, story time, all right? So, I'm out with my hubby, and I am going by to, I said, hey, ride with me. I want to go by this place, and just something I need to drop off to a lady that works at a beauty salon. Wanted her to try some samples or something that I created. So anyway, we passed by there, and she's not there. So I say no. So then he's like, well, hey, let's stop by this place right here and grab a couple of drinks. So we stopped by this place. It's one of my favorite places. They have pretty decent food. I just like the atmosphere, and I like the people who work there. And, sometimes you just go somewhere and you just kind of click and you just kind of get a vibe like, yeah, I can actually go here to just relax for an hour or 30 minutes or, or so, or meet up with some friends or whatever and have a few drinks, have some appetizers, and then, going by my way or whatever. So, I've gone there enough to where they would consider me as a regular, even though I'm not there all the time because I haven't been really wanting to drink a whole lot. So anyway, get there, and my hubby recognizes somebody that he met the last time he was there, and I guess it was the time that he came without me. And so they start talking, and then we all kind of get in this conversation about the different hurricanes and stuff, the weather. And the guy that we was talking to actually worked for a place that's really connected to having to know how the weather is, without saying what he actually does. And we went from that to different things that are going on due to this whole COVID-19, and due to Black Lives Matter, and due to the president that we have, and due to who's running. So in the meantime, everybody's drinking and kind of having a good time and just enjoying, having a conversation about, I guess, things that can be really, really touchy at this time. Throughout the whole conversation, our views were kind of, different. My views were a whole lot different from my husband's, and it's always been that way, We come from two different religious backgrounds, completely different. We just, we have a lot of things that are in common, but that are very different. For instance, I don't know, let's see, a really quick example. I may love apples because I like stewed apples. He may love apples because he likes to just bite into an apple. You know what I mean? And we both love apples, but we both have a totally different view and purpose and way of approaching the things that we both enjoy or have in common, if that makes sense. Anyway, so, we've already went through our differences and arguments, and, just saying, look, I don't want to debate, you see this way, I see this that way, let's just not talk about it because, it's not even worth it. You're going to think how you want to think, I'm going to think how I want to think, and, we can come together and share our views and learn something through somebody else having a different perspective or thinking differently than you, then great. But if you can't and it turns into a shot, there's no point. So anyway, so we kind of, respected each other around that, around our views politically being totally different. And the other gentleman we were speaking with, kind of was more, towards what I thought, but for very different reasons, and he could relate. And, we kind of got to the point in the conversation where it was like, we've delved into this enough. So, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, sister. Great conversation. It was a pleasure to see what other people think. Everybody dapped each other up, gave, little friendly hugs, and just, the guy was like, I'm on my way inside. So he went inside, and just as we're about to wrap up our last drinks and leave and head to back to go check on the lady at the beauty shop, this gentleman that was sitting all the way across the bar, nowhere near us, wasn't in our conversation at all, and wasn't even really close enough to be in our conversation. I guess, the point that we're in a social kind of environment, and, other people could probably hear. Not that we were disruptive or anything, but other people could probably hear our conversation. It wasn't a really big area that we were in, and we didn't really have to be yelling or anything, to be heard. We're done with that conversation. And so I am now trying to show my husband this video about one of the people that we were talking about, that he asked me to show him, that we spoke about earlier. And so I was like, here's the video. As he's doing that, the gentleman from way across the bar on the other side decides that he wants to start to talk to me about what I'm showing my husband. I'm trying to think, to myself, how can you even really be educated about what I'm showing him if you can't see what I'm showing him? So I said, well, sir, I don't even really know what he said. I was like, sir, well, do you want to see it? After he finishes watching it, you can see it and you can tell me what your observation is of it. And, I don't have to judge you about it, but you're way over there, and this really has nothing to do with you. I'm trying to show him something. Why are you talking to me? So he continues to try to pretty much, I guess, tear down or disagree or argue about whatever it was that I was trying to show my husband, which it wasn't an argument at this point. It was just something that he asked me to show him because he wanted to see for himself. I wasn't sure. I could never figure out what this dude way over here had anything to do with trying to question me. The way he came at me was just like, well, people are able to manipulate those videos and do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's not even the point of whether somebody can manipulate a video. The point is somebody asked me to show them something, and I'm showing them something. Who asked you about filmmaking? You know what I'm saying? Who asked you to dissect and to break down to me that what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing, what I'm perceiving is not what I'm seeing? So, I just continue like, you want to see it, you can see it, and then let me know what you think. But other than that, and we kind of got loud because he kept trying to create scenarios and ways of trying to explain whatever argument that he was trying to have, which I was never talking to you, and your whole purpose of jumping in my conversation had nothing to do with my purpose of showing this person something. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can understand, but he just kept going on and on. And so I was just, I got to the point where I was like, look, what is this really about? Are you trying to have the last word? Are you trying to dominate the conversation? Is it because I'm a female that you feel like you have to jump over here in this conversation and make sure that you make me feel a certain type of way, or try to debate what I'm saying just to be debating? I really, I don't have any wish to debate. If you ask me my view on something, or you ask me to see something, I'm going to let you see it. If, how you feel about it is how you feel about it. Don't believe me. You know what I'm saying? Don't agree with me. Have your own opinion. And you don't even have to tell me or explain your opinion. But what you're not going to do is jump in my conversation and try to make it seem like I have a certain opinion that you want to argue about. And it just didn't make sense to me. So I kind of just went off on him, and I didn't curse. But at another point, these other people come in, and so they sitting off to this side across from the other dude. And like I said, we weren't really sitting close to each other, so I kind of am getting loud with him. But I guess to them it looks like I'm shouting at this guy from across the bar, that they didn't hear everything that happened from the beginning of the conversation. And my husband, the whole time, is just like trying to shush me and trying to calm the conversation down. And I didn't mean for it to get this serious. I'm like, it's not serious, because now what I'm talking to him about had nothing to do with what we were talking about earlier or before he jumped in. And this is something totally different, where he feels like he has to win at something, I guess. And he figured that, maybe based on the conversation, what he heard went, I can pick with her and win this and make myself feel, I don't know what kind of ego tripper he was on, but I wasn't having it. I know I'm looking all over the place. I wasn't having it, okay? And, these other people come in and they sit down to my left, and then the lady decides she's gonna jump in. Well, ma'am, this is a free country and he can voice his opinion about anything that he wants. And I'm saying, no, it's not. No, it's not. And they're like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is a free country. I'm saying, no, it's not. What I mean by no, it's not is, yes, it is a free country. You can say your opinion about whatever you want, but I don't recall asking your opinion about anything. And then that's when he just kind of shrunk back a little bit and was like, you know what, ma'am? You're exactly right. You did not ask for my opinion. And everybody just got quiet, and then I could see him sitting there. I could see his mind ticking, trying to figure out something else to say. And I'm like, there's nothing else to say. But I was talking to your husband. Is this about just having the last word? Is this about just, what why are you still talking to me? If I never asked for your opinion, why are you still talking to me? And then he got really quiet. And then I was like, furthermore, you wasn't talking to my husband. You was in my Kool-Aid. You was trying to dispute whatever it was that I was trying to say based on it being me saying it. You didn't want to hear what I had to say. You just wanted to, for some reason, make him feel like he was winning at something, and it wasn't a competition. So I don't know. So then what happened? So he continues to try to say, I was talking to him, and then my husband's like, no, you wasn't talking to me. And I said, you know what? You're a real narcissist, aren't you? And I don't really know where that came from. It just kind of came out. And then that's when he was just like, he just grabbed his phone. He was like, he just started doing something to his phone and trying to call somebody. And he's like, I know narcissists. I ain't no narcissist. I know narcissist. But he shut up and he didn't look back my way in my direction anymore. And that was pretty much it. And then, my husband was just like, kind of quietly telling me, that I was pretty harsh on him. And I was like, I don't care. People who are ignorant, people who, one of my definitions of ignorance is, you think a certain way, that's fine. Let me show you this information, which may back up what you think, or may back up what I think, or it may show both of us something that's totally different that we never thought of. But let's do the research and let's look at all the information that's given about it before you make a concrete assumption about something and stick with that and fight tooth and nail anytime somebody else says something different. And if you refuse to see the information, you refuse to educate yourself about whatever it is, then you don't want to know the truth. You don't want to see. You just want to be stuck in the matrix, whatever kind of matrix you have made up for yourself, to where you don't need any new information, and you know everything. And regardless of what anybody else says, you think this way when there's clearly 1,000 other ways. You know what I mean? So yeah, it got really heated, and my husband felt some certain type of way, and I guess people are gonna look at things the way that they see them, and judge you or observe however they judge or observe you. And so at the end of the day, I know hubby just wanted to make sure that I was okay. But alcohol and heated conversations with people who are unreasonable don't work, and talking about things that are really touchy to people. I kind of almost feel like because he was more on my husband's side of our discussion, while we were having our discussion between the three of us, and he wasn't involved, that once it was done, he wanted to just add his little 2 cents. And it's just like, I didn't ask you for your 2 cents. Your 2 cents was not over here. So keep your 2 cents over there. We done. We succeeded. We got through the whole argument without, it going negative, and you had to come in, sprinkle a little negative salt on it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like the way that I felt about the original conversation. Just looking at me, you wouldn't think that I would have felt that way. But you know what I'm saying? You just gotta do your research. You have to know what you're talking about. The truth and facts have nothing to do with what color you are or who's saying it. The truth of the facts are the truth and the facts. If a news reporter decides to get on TV and tell you a complete lie, are you just gonna believe it because they're on the news and you trust that source? Or if somebody that you don't know comes up and tells you the truth and they're not lying, are you just gonna not believe them based on you not knowing them and they are telling you the truth and they're trying to look out for you? You know what I'm saying? You can't be so stuck to, for example, as a concept, Barack Obama is black, I'm black, or Barack Obama has this type of skin color or comes from this background, so do I, so I'm gonna vote for him. But what about, you know what I'm saying? Is that the only reason? So if it was the same person, except for it wasn't a black, Barack Obama wasn't black, he was Indian, you know what I'm saying? West African, I don't know, Irish, whatever, you're not going to vote for him because he doesn't look like you. But is that the best person to vote for based on the need, you know what I'm saying? Or is it just a popularity contest based on stereotypes of what you think, you know what I'm saying? Because he looks like me or because she looks like me. When are we going to get beyond that part and just get down to the facts? Okay, this person, regardless of what they look like or their background, did this person did that. This is better for us than that is. And that's just the facts. And if you want to be mad about the color of their skin or their background, then you don't really have a problem. You know what I'm saying? You have a different problem.